Good morning, class 10. In today's session, I'll be taking up the last topics of the chapter, that is rancidity and corrosion. And before I take up these topics, let me explain you the difference between exothermic and endothermic reaction, though I have already discussed with you in my previous videos. Just a quick recap of it. Exothermic reaction means the reaction that proceeds by liberating heat, in which the heat is being produced. The best example is respiration. If you have observed this, children, whenever you place your hand in front of your mouth and breathe out, you must have observed that a warm air comes out. That means heat is being evolved in this process because of the presence of CO2 as a byproduct in respiration. And endothermic, the reaction that proceeds by absorbing heat, in which the heat is being absorbed. Example, evaporation. Now this is also a topic that you have done in class 9's chemistry. Evaporation occurs in the presence of heat. That is why it produces cooling effect. And you must have observed this also. If water is spilled on the floor and then after some time you'll observe that water evaporates on its own, or you simply switch on the fan, it gets evaporated on its own. From where it is getting heat? It is getting the heat from the surrounding, and that is why it produces cooling effect. So the process that occurs by liberating heat is exothermic in nature, and the process that occurs by absorbing heat is endothermic in nature. So these are very simple topics, and think of some more examples, simple examples. Now coming to rancidity. Okay, one more example. Let me tell you here, children. Exothermic means, or exothermic reaction, a chemical reaction I'm mentioning here. The reaction that occurs by the production of heat is N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. In this reaction, what happens? The heat is produced. Okay, or another example I can take for you is calcium oxide plus water, and it gets converted into calcium hydroxide. This reaction also proceeds by production of heat. These are the examples of exothermic reaction. Now endothermic reaction, endothermic, which occurs by the absorption of heat. So all the decomposition reactions like calcium carbonate dissociates or decomposes in the presence of heat, producing CaO plus CO2. So these are the chemical equations which can be considered as the example of exothermic and endothermic reactions. Now coming to this topic, that is rancidity. What is the meaning of rancidity? The oxidation of food that contains fats and oil is known as rancidity. So again repeating for you, rancidity means the oxidation of food containing fat and oil. Oxidation means the reaction. This rancidity occurs in the presence of oxygen only, as I discussed with you in the redox reactions. And the rancid food will have a foul smell and the taste will also change. So basically rancidity means the rotten food. Okay, so you must have observed that if by mistake your mother forget to keep the food in the refrigerator, what happens after one day, especially in the summer days? What happens? Food will start smelling badly, and the taste will also turn bad, which is not fit for consumption. So rancidity means the spoilage of food which contains fat and oil, and oxygen is a necessary condition for this process to occur. So I hope this is clear, but there are certain methods also to prevent rancidity. Now one method you can think on your own also. The one common method which we use at home is refrigeration. By keeping the food in the refrigerator, that is by preserving the food at low temperature, will prevent the action of oxygen, will prevent the microbial growth, and hence the food will not turn rancid. So basically what happens? Oxygen is provides an atmosphere to the microbes for their growth. So an atmosphere which will not have oxygen will prevent the growth of microbes. So another method can be keeping the food in airtight container. As you can see here, keeping the food in airtight container, because airtight means there is no possibility of air to get inside the box. When there is no air, there will be no oxygen, there will be no microbial growth. So this is also one of the common methods used. Using antioxidants. Antioxidants means the chemical substance which prevents the incoming of oxygen, or which nullify the effect of oxygen, are antioxidants. So what happens, देखा होगा आपने, there are certain canned foods, there are certain packed foods which have antioxidants in it. Those antioxidants does not allow the microbial growth because they nullify the effect of oxygen. Okay, and another very common example of this you can take is flushing in nitrogen in chips packets. When you go to purchase chips packets, what do you observe? First of all, chips packet खरीदे एक पिचका हुआ chips का packet you'll never purchase. You will always look for that which is inflated with air. Inflated with air means not oxygen. In case of these food items, nitrogen is flushed in these chip packets. Why? Because nitrogen is not non-reactive, or nitrogen does not allow the entry of oxygen. It creates an inert atmosphere. Again, the microbial growth will be prevented. So it is, we all prefer to go for an inflated chips packet. We never buy the one which is pichka hua, which does not have nitrogen in it. So I hope it is clear to you. Okay, and this is also a very important question for your board examination, children. Now coming to the next part, that is corrosion. What is the meaning of corrosion? The best example of corrosion is rusting. Rusting is what? You must have observed what is rust. Rust is a brown color coating that you must have seen over oxygen. Yes. And so how will we define rusting? The slow eating away of top layer of iron in the presence of air and moisture is termed as rusting. So basically the two important conditions for rusting to occur is air and moisture. So when both the conditions are present, then the iron gets rusted. And rusting is an example of corrosion. It is not necessary that the corrosion occurs only on iron surface. Any surface, any metal surface which is reactive in nature can get corroded. Or if it is not metal surface, even if you have heard about Taj Mahal turning yellow. Why? Because the marble is getting corroded due to acid rain. So corrosion can occur in any surface, on any surface. It is a surface phenomena. It can occur on any surface. Rusting is the common example because rusted iron is seen by everyone, and it can be commonly seen in our surrounding. Okay, you all must have seen rusted iron. So what is the equation behind rusting? Let us see this. Iron oxide, that means iron which is already in combination of oxygen, when combines with moisture, X indicates koi bhi number of water molecule. Water molecules are not fixed. When it combines with X molecules of water, it forms Fe2O3.XH2, which is known as rust. And this reaction is what? Rusting. Okay, and this is known as hydrated iron oxide. Hydrated is for water. Hydrated iron oxide is termed as rust. This is the chemical name of rust, and this is the chemical formula. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now how can you prevent rusting? The first and the most common method is painting. By painting an iron on an iron surface, you can prevent rusting. Enameling by galvanizing, that is coating with zinc, can also prevent rusting. Coating with nickel, tin or chromium can also prevent rusting, and you'll study more detail of corrosion in chapter 3 this year only, and for this chapter this much is sufficient. So I hope today's topic is clear to you. These are very simple topics and self-explanatory. Just write down the notes and go through the explanation that I'm telling you in the video. Thank you for watching the video, children. This finishes your chapter.